Syntax and teaching techniques. This is the graded activity number 4. My name is Elsa Angélica Montes León and my teacher is Lady Adriana Vivanco Rios. In this opportunity, I'm going to present the classes of verb and their subcategorization restriction. Firstly, I have a little meaning of a verb. A verb is a word of combination of words that expresses an action or a state of being. It also the fundamental part signs. It tells us what the subject does and can be conjugated according to the verb tense. For instance, the base form, Catherine and Nick Blake in the file. Classes of verbs. Transitive verb. Transitive verbs are not just verbs that can take an object. They require objects. Without an object to affect the sentence, inhabited by the transitive verb will be incomplete and meaningless. For example, number 1, Carlos brings fruit to his house. In this sentence, the verb brings is transitive. The object is the fruit. Without the object of some kind, this verb can't function. If the objects were removed, the result would be illogical questions will arise in the mind of the reader. For example, Carlos brings, but what is Carlos bringing? Example number 2, Maria called her friend. In this sentence, the verb is transitive too. Its object is her friend. Without an object of some kind, this verb can't function. If the object were removed, the result would be illogical and questions will arise to the mind of the reader too. For example, Maria called, yes, but who did Maria call to speak to? Example number 3, he loves animal. In this sentence, the verb love is transitive. Its object are animals. Without an object of some kind, this verb can't function. If the object were removed, the result will be illogical and question will arise in the mind of the reader. For example, he loves, but what does he love? The next class of the verb is transitive verb. An intransitive verb don't require an object to recite its action. That is, it doesn't require an object or without to ask. It's the opposite of the transitive verb. For example, here we have 3 examples. The cat jumped, Carol danced, and he sang. In these 3 sentences, none of the verbs jump, dance, and sing require an object for a sentence to make sense, and all can finish a sentence. Classes of the verb, the transitive verb. The transitive verb joins 3 elements of a clause: the subject, the direct object, and the indirect object. For example, number 1, Paul gave her the cell phone. The cell phone is the direct object. What Paul gave and her is the indirect object. The person Paul gave it to. Example number 2, my mother ordered me an ice cream. An ice cream is the direct object. What my mother ordered and me is the indirect object. The person my mother ordered it to. Example number 3, Sam sold me a guitar. A guitar is the direct object. What Sam sold and me is the indirect object. The person Sam sold it to. The last one is copula and linking verbs. Copula or linking verb join a noun or pronoun near the beginning of a sentence with another word. Although some can be used in a similar way to action verbs. They generally appears as to the verb to be. The copula can be declarative, interrogative, and imperative. There are 3 types of copulations, such as copula ascriptive which describe, declares the quality of characters of something or someone. For example, Mario is angry. In this example, the copula is declaring the character of the subject Mario. Copula equative, it is something applied to comparative construction in which the degrees comparative are possibility of different proportions. Example, the hat is the biggest. In this example, the copula is make the union between the hat and the biggest. And copula locative is to denote being in some specific place. For example, I am at home. In this example, the copula am link and denotes the specific place. In this part is the presentation of the bibliography, which are the resources that I used to develop this presentation. Thank you for your attention.